Who do you have taking this series, Harry?
I mean, I honestly, I don't know, Hugo.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna lay my cards on the table, right? I feel like we've seen so much. We've seen highs, we've seen lows from either one of these two teams, and it really does just kind of come down to who shows up within the server. I hate that as a floaty answer.
Yeah, I do it a lot though, so I can't really get angry at you for that, but...
Well, not so much anger, but some aggression down here towards Ivy. Will net the man advantage. Mert's going to tap down a D-Hat already. S-Tag gets brought down to just 1 point of health in that fight. Manise, I think, was able to get the dink off with that PT50. And we know devils.one, they like a slow T-side round, so don't expect to see too much aggression just yet from the Devils.
Plenty of utility, though, still to go for an execute for this T-side. This is going to be a con smoke thrown out. Miles with a deep Ivy smoke setting up at the moment as well. So execute seemingly being the game plan here for devils.one. They checked their flanks very quickly. You could see them both look away. Miles checked behind, and Manise checked Ivy as well. There was that earlier Ivy aggression not coming through now. Smokes are, though, landing on the bomb site. It's Mertz up close, already tagged up low. Does get damage to Taz, but he's trying to find a kill desperately. Won't be able to do so. Freiburg, same story. Overwhelmed. These smokes giving great avenues of attack for devils.one into the bomb site. They cut off Stown. He won't have a line of sight. Taz has killed him as he comes through the connector. Blame F back in the spawn, gone as well. And it is a perfect execute from devils.one. Don't lose a single player on that A bomb site.
Yeah, 1 HP on S-Tag. He is not long for this world. He will look to try and hold on to the armor if he can get away with it. But devils.one getting off to this T-side pistol start does poise them nicely to pick up a few rounds here on their map pick. Hugo, they touched on it over on the desk, but for those of you who are just tuning in, if Heroic takes this 2-0, then devils.one drop in that last place slot, and we have Heroic second, Nip third. Now, if Heroic win 2-1, Heroic goes second, devils.one goes third, and Nip fall into that fourth place spot.
That is, of course, over the map wins.
Yeah.
devils.one getting more map wins than Nip.
And if devils.one win this full stop, then they'll secure a second place slot, Nip in third, and Heroic will be in that fourth place spot. So, this becomes a very interesting matchup indeed, with a lot of ramifications as to how this Group B will pan out. So we'll keep you updated with that as the game goes on. We'll see it transpire before our very eyes. And this is the force spine out from Heroic.
A couple of scouts, few nades. One of them going early towards T-Con, but Stown doesn't find anyone with that. Just a bit of damage, and more gets added to the tally. Mal's hit with the scout on B. Look at the HP here for devils.one. Not a problem yet, but this can come back to bite them later in the round. These pistols, these scouts, all the more dangerous.
Yeah, right. I mean, these scouts are going to feel like AWPs to three of these players right now over on the side of devils.one. We've seen a real tendency for teams to elect to go for these double scout force buys in the second round, especially on a map like Train, where you've got the long angles you can look to abuse. This B play will come in, and Stabman not quite able to find any damage onto Taz. If he could even get so much as one shot off, might make all the difference. But S-Tag going to help out and deletes the point man for devils.one. Now it's going to fall as well. These scouts are getting away with a lot of damage here. Uh-oh. Rollin and Manise left standing. 2v4. Plenty of time left for Heroic to make this retake a reality.
Oh, Manise catches a player up close, but now they know he's stuck on the bomb site alone. Rallen has a flash, but he's not going to use it. Rather taking the fight. No fight is presented, and Heroic already on this defuse. They have no kit. They've got to stick it. No one's covering Rallen's spot, and I think they just won the round off the bomb. Heroic don't have a kit. No one was covering the ramp play, and maybe a bit of miscommunication there for Heroic. He's just lost in the round. All they had to do was hit their shot and cover Stown on the defuse, but it will not happen. devils.one convert that second round despite the casualties. Heroic are going to be kicking themselves. That was a 3-on-1. That was a done deal in the bag, but devils.one brought the scissors and cut the shopping up. Or I was trying to, how would you wordplay that? Cut the bottom of the shopping bag? I don't know. Something like that, Harry. Either way, they won the round. And Heroic, they save a couple of guns. They've got still a chance to win this one, but they can't really invest too heavily around it. Still 3 pistols to play with, and devils.one running quad rifle here. This should be a safe bet.
And Heroic look like they might just hedge their bets and stack everyone inside of this B portion of the map. You've got Freiburg getting some attention down towards Ivy, and that's actually pulled a few of these players back toward A. S-Tag is down in Pop Dog. Flash allows Down to take this aggressive position over in main. And so Devils back to this slow T-side default that they know and love. The thing is, right, Heroic, they've shown that they are a team that like to prep for the opposition they come up against, right? You think when we saw them play versus NIP, they seem pretty well rehearsed into how they wanted to play. We've seen, you know, Freiburg and Blame F be the two to do most of the conversation around that. But the reason why I said that's significant is devils.one, they're sticking to exactly how we've noticed they like to play, right? Which is these very, very slow defaults. So I'm imagining that when we see these rifles brought up for Heroic, they're going to be pretty keen in trying to push and prod here and there, try and disrupt these slow defaults from the side of devils.one.
Ooh. Rotation off of B and regretted immediately. It's the push to come through. Blame F lines up 2. He's found a 3rd. Diha has to save the day here in a 2-on-2 for devils.one, and he might just be able to do that. Lots of damage, but no kill. Stown gets away with 1 point of health. It's Rallen alone. Once again, left in a clutch situation. 9 seconds. Pomplant has to go down, but he fakes it, and that will come back to bite. Freiburg wins the round for his side. And what a spray down there with a Galil on that B site for Heroic. They pick it up out of nowhere.
That was a Galil and an AK that were salvaged from that previous 3v1 retake. Coming back to punish the Devils early, and they fully invested into that round, right? There was no SMGs carried forward. Obviously, they lose everyone in the second. So they full invest there. They stick everything into that round, and as a result, there's no money here for the Polish squad. And this is Heroic already getting back into this game, chomping at the bit to start to erode this Polish side down.
That shouldn't have happened as well. I think it was Mertz immediately rotated off of B when devils.one went for the smokes, maybe expecting some sort of fake. He went back through the connector, realized his error, comes back into the B site and dies immediately. So Heroic still get it done, all thanks to the captain. It is Blame with 3. And Heroic with 1. First CT side round taken. Lots of rifles off the back of it. As said, Harry, the money is gone for devils.one, so we're back to pistols here for the Poles. Utility for this B bomb site, and they found relative success towards it, so we're going to look to do it again. Creeping up with 5 players in the box halls already, watching that pop flank as well. The flash, try and keep Heroic somewhat back, keep them contained. Blame F will not be allowing that. Mert's going to pre-rotate towards his B bomb site, and he's definitely going to be needed. The push is here.
Well, Stout gracing our scoreboard with the first man, trying to make quick work of this force buy of devils.one, but Taz will deal with him. Mertz wrapping round close is the unknown quantity here. devils.one not ready for a man to be so deep within the bomb site, but he's only good for 1. Mao's able to hold his own with the Deeg. He loses his teammate over at ramp though, so will be Heroic converting that anti-force buy round, locking in their second. Bomb going down there for devils.one gives them a bit more stake in this round. They could throw a few pistols around here and there, but you don't really want to invest here if you're devils.one. You don't have that loss bonus banked up yet. So the odds are we see some pistols invested. devils.one go back to this slow default with the main goal of trying to burn out as much utility as they can from the Heroic side of things. You want to try and make them rebuy as much of that as you can, looking to the future, and then look to try and find any more damage with these pistols you've been able to invest in. 3-man Ivy set up for devils.one. Mertz on the other side of this with the AWP, and he'll make quick work of Diha on the initial peak.
Going back for more as well, with a re-smoke will hold these T's back, or at least it should. However, not a wall, so Maniz walk right through. Mertz through the smoke, up close. He doesn't expect the second player, and Maniz, with a bang, enters the A bomb site. 2 Deegs and an AWP retreat. He can back off. will not commit towards that early A aggression, although talking of which, Stown has pushed up as well. This is going to hold the B halls in favor of Heroic, and he can even full flank off the back of it. Mouse isn't ready. And Stown getting that kill has now left the solo AWP back in the T-spawn with the bomb. He's going to throw it out the map. That's a valiant move for Maniz in a round that he could certainly either try and save or get damage done. This is the AWP player for devils.one, and he just threw his favorite gun out the map. So really trying to play the long game here.
If he gets one more kill, by the way, he has enough money exactly for the AWP and armor, if I've done my maths right, which he will get. Now in with 3. Gonna head over towards the B side of things, and Stown here with the AUG should be able to mop this round up. Maniz will be hard-pressed to get into the bomb site and get this bomb down. But he's already surprised us with 3 Deegs in this round, so maybe a bit more up his sleeve. No, Stown from range, able to delete him. And Hugo, I nailed the maths. Maniz has enough money to bring his AWP and armor out in this round on the back of that 1 kill.
Good effort, Harry. I mean, maths is never fun on broadcast as well. It can come back to bite you, but yeah, huge round for Maniz, and that's especially important considering the fact that he dropped the AWP, right? Would have sucked to not see him with it, but now he's actually got it in his hands, gone for the buy straight up. And Heroic sitting in the lead. Mertz has been given the AWP over. So lost money for Heroic, but not the lost round. Maniz going for the Ivy play here. We got a deep Molotov and a smoke. Freiburg going to get flashed in, and Maniz gets caught by it. AWP dead immediately. Freiburg knows there's more around the corner, so enable tag Diho, and the smoke will keep him back. Actually a smoke from both sides. devils.one want to concede Ivy. They want nothing to do with this, but a good way to start off this round. And Harry, as you said it as well, you expected Heroic on these rifle rounds to push and prod. Well, they've done exactly that.
Yeah, and that's sort of the best way to throw some chaos into the ranks of devils.one, right? We so often saw in both matchups that devils.one have played thus far, both versus FaZe and NIP, that they hang back, they play these really slow... Oh, Taz! Ah, it's chaos on the ladder.
He doesn't even get hit.
Yeah. Well, you know, inaccuracy is a pretty horrific thing to deal with when you are S-tag in that situation there. But as I was trying to say before that weird exchange went down, they have been given a lot of room, right? Just to sit back, play these slow defaults. FaZe didn't really give them as much of a chance, but NIP certainly did, right? They let them just take this map control, hold the default till around about 30 seconds left, and then they throw in all this utility just for a Hail Mary play into one of the bomb sites. And Heroic aren't letting them get comfortable. They're not letting them establish that early default and have the game plan. This round is no exception, as Freiburg and S-Tag shutting down 3 players between them leaves this all on to Mouse. And while he will get 1, it's a big ask. 10 HP, the aggression from Blame F is going to shut him down. So Heroic 4-2 up. And the reason why this is so interesting now is I'm hoping for devils.one we get to see maybe a bit of a change in how they've been cooling, right? Maybe they look to surprise both us and Heroic by speeding things up a bit.
Yeah, that fast A execute on the pistol round was fairly, well, quite successful for devils.one as well. Able to get all the kills behind it, but now more pistols, Harry. No weaponry here for this T side. Bit of utility to play with around this as well, but right now, setting up outside of the B bomb site, it's D here with the Deagle. Heroic only 1 man here, it's just Stown to stop them. S-Tag again being a nuisance in the pop dog does find that opening kill to Taz, and now devils.one going to filter out upper here. No utility to get them into this bomb site. They've just got to hope that they can trade their way to a plant.
What? They do delete Stown inside of B. Oh.
What?
Uh-oh. This has gotten very, very dangerous now. Heroic thrown into a 3-on-4 retake, but Freiburg has just made it that much easier. The pressure alleviator himself out from connector. It's Maniz and Ralin left. Now Maniz dropped through the smoke. It all falls onto the back of Ralin here. Well, Deeg down the point man for the side of Heroic. Freiburg dealt with, and this leaves Blame F and S-Tag. They tap the bomb. They do have kits, and the peek from Ralin spotted and dealt with. Heroic able to get a leash back on that round as they do secure themselves a fifth. Only 2 players surviving though, and the bomb plant from devils.one is all they wanted.
Yeah, very profitable round, and what a start from Mouse as well. He's been phenomenal for devils.one throughout, you know, especially the matchup yesterday versus NIP where he was dropping 30s.
I want to know what his headshot percentage is, because I feel like I never see him get anything other than like these insane one taps.
He was entering ramp on nuke round after round, finding 2Ks pretty much every single time he did it. So really nice work from Miles. Here are the Deegs back in again. Saving grace to allow devils.one to get that bomb plant, but no further than that they shall find. It's still 5-2. Heroic sitting pretty on this CT side. But buy round is back. We may even have Maniz on the AWP once again here for this T side, and maybe a chance for him to actually show us what he's made of. He had a good start to the map with you know, a few kills on the pistols, but not really had enough rifle rounds to get an idea of how he wants to approach this T side. Was of course shut out by Freiburg's aggression on Ivy last time, and this time he's going to play a lot more passive, just hold on for the peak. Heroic looking to take control of T-Con as well, and lots of Molotovs and flashbangs to support it. They've dedicated a lot of utility, but they have taken this map control, pushing back these Ts. Flash into the pop dog for S-Tag. He is continuing to be a nuisance. But no one on the other side, no one dropped into it yet from the Ts. Molotov to try and clear out some at this position, and they may follow it with a bit of a double drop.
I'm actually back to the matchmaking classic, the B rush. Not really rush, but like be cruel. As they set up these smokes to try and facilitate the early peaks down, will shut down Taz. So that's the upper plate sorted, but Mao's out from ramp once again, going to find the opener for devils.one. It is Stown still up in the rafters, who could cause some chaos here for devils.one. It's forced them to plant for connector, and this means we have to see a bit more of an aggressive stance here from the Devils. They have to try and secure these forward positions. They have done so though. These crossfires being set up, and blame F is going to fall if you're Heroic. This is not looking all too winnable now. Maus is in with his 3rd kill of the round. It's S-Tag left in the clutch. He's got to back away. He's got to give this one up. devils.one will be on to a 3rd, and Mao's continuing this fantastic form from that from the game yesterday. We saw him look insane versus NIP. Yeah. The real kind of defining factor for devils.one and their success in that series.
And when you have a player just playing this well, they're so explosive on the T side, you can open up so many rounds with, you know, just him going in first and finding entries. And you know, we can see Taz is putting him in that position. Another 3K round for Mouse. Headshots, of course, Harry, keeping up that percentage. And despite Heroic having, you know, a 5-3 lead, they've not exactly got a lot of money left. They were pretty reliant on that save from S-Tag, as they have a buy now with the AWP for Mertz, but it will be their last. This is where devils.one could start things off with a pretty hefty T side if they can break the bank here and now. Mertz close to T-Con. Molotov to keep these Ts from pushing the A side. S-Tag's very deep as well, and they don't realize it. They throw a molly behind him, but he's going to be allowed to quickly flank this A play if devils.one go for it.
Yeah, with that molly falling, they're under the belief that this upper portion is going to be clear. S-Tag will be arriving fast on this flank. 4 players in the A bomb site for Heroic, and we might never even get to see this flank come through, as it's Maniz left standing.
Hello.
Okay. Ball is rolling now. Will he be ready for S-Tag on this Rat Brown? He sneaks out into Olaf. Still has a minute left to play with. Blame just holding the cross at the sandwich. Heroic in with their 6th. The devils.one really getting punished on the back of allowing S-Tag so much freedom over towards those B halls. It allowed that for that 4-man stack into the A bomb site from Heroic. Look at that, there you go. 77% headshot. I mean, I imagine that's just in this map,
yeah,
but
it's 134 ADR. It's definitely just in this map. That's still pretty damn good considering they have half the rounds of that of Heroic. Mal sitting on 9 kills. And once again being put in the front lines here to get towards his B bomb site. Deep Molly doesn't want Heroic's aggression to continue to be a problem. Freiburg has pushed Ivy, but D is very, very aware of it, spotting it from the spawn side. Heroic setting up with 2 inside of this B bomb site as well, but somewhat conditioned by this utility of devils.one, who've just established a default, just passive, just holding.
But this is where, to me, it feels obvious that Heroic have been doing their homework. You'll note that, for the first, say, minute of a round, they'll just hold, right? They answer the passive play of devils.one with a passive play of their own. It's normally not till that clock starts to approach, maybe like the 30-second mark or around there, that we see them then start to push and prod and try to establish where exactly devils.one will end up. This round, though, there's been no aggression from this side of Heroic. Instead, they're going to stack 3 players towards the B side of the map, but this might not be the B play, right? You've still got Diha and Ralin waiting back passive. They're now going to start to push out from main, and this is the old double fakeroo. Ralin and Diha, they found both the players inside of this A bomb site. This has prompted the rotations of Heroic on round, and now this bomb gets a free B site. Heroic likely just going to have to save in this 3-on-5.
What a big brain play as well. I mean, it very heavily depends on you getting those entry kills over on A, but that seems to be likely considering the fake thrown into B. Flame F are now alone, 1-on-5, does get the first, and 2 dinked players down low, but this is still a round that he will not be able to save. That's a really nice call from devils.one. I like that setup very much, but now Heroic are going to be aware of it, and you can't run that more than once really in a half. Flame F will get away with this gun, at least for now. Ralin's not going to be hunting considering he's dinked. Taz could, but doesn't need to. These Ts would rather focus on their own economy at this point, yet to build up. So they take a 4th rifle round. Talking money, Harry, it's kind of lacking for that of Heroic, who, yeah, they've just been crushed. 1 rifle round lost and all their economy gone with it. May as well even just buy around this, knowing you've got that double eco in the future, but I guess everyone except for S-Tag will be able to buy in the follow-up. Tactical pause for Heroic to work out this money problem.
Yeah, you want to try and figure out a game plan, right? You don't have the most money in the world, as you have highlighted. You don't have that loss bonus to fall back on, so it's likely going to be a double eco, so they might just elect to force here anyway. Within the Heroic camp. And that little call in the last round, we get to see a bit more, kind of tactical diversity from the Polish squad. Yesterday, it felt like we saw a lot of the same. But that's a nice little alteration as to how they've been approaching these T-side defaults. The game plan there prevails, and devils.one sitting in a spot where they could look to springboard themselves into a 6-6 scoreline if they pick this round up. The money, not there for Heroic. They force port into this round. They've got 2 rifles to play around with, but other than that, it's pistols for the remaining 3 players. So this becomes a 2-for-1 for devils.one, potentially.
But again, Freiburg is just being such a problem down on Ivy, just denying this control for devils.one. Deep smoke, he's going to play around it as well, just hiding in this corner. Doesn't need to go any further. devils.one are posted on the angle, and it would be unnecessary to hunt any further as a CT here. But just having this control means later in the round, as you've been saying, Harry, in that last 30 seconds when devils.one give up their default group for a bomb site take, that's when this push can be so much more valuable. Freiburg can get a lot of info off of it. So devils.one aptly want to try and pressure it, and they shall with some utility going down, but giving up Ivy and just backing off for the time being, setting up for the A execute. Smokes are the game plan here for this T side, and A is pretty weak right now. We have a triple B setup for Heroic. Freiburg finding it inside. Now's the time to push, but he is caught by Miles rotating back in. That will be the call. That will be the signal for devils.one to go.
Yeah, fast into A, and Taz shutting down a Blame F as he attempts to barrel through that con smoke. That's one of the 2 rifles that they held into this round gone and stripped away from them. So this should be a 5th and a clean one at that for the Devils. It just now becomes a question of how much do they want to hunt down this 1 rifle that remains. And, you know, maybe you throw 1 man at the problem. You can see Rowlin is probing forward, but you don't imagine they throw too many more players at this one. There's an AK there. And Mertz is going to take that all day long. So free upgrade onto the 2nd rifle. You're going to have these to play around with in the next round at the very least. A chance to try and upset. We saw how 2 rifles into round 3 was all Heroic needed to scavenge around and get their first on the board. So maybe hoping for some more Heroics here in this round.
Still, this is a great T-site recovery from devils.one, right? Early start for Heroic. Finding that near force by winning the 2nd round. It looked like they could have certainly uprooted the CT side, but now about to be 6-6 unless these 2 rifles can save the day for Heroic. Once again, the Ivy push, this time from Mertz with that AK. Got to be careful, knowing that Freiburg's been doing this repeatedly. devils.one are keeping an eye on it, and they will continue to do so for the rest of the half. A man advantage already taken with the M4 being dropped on the side of Stown. He pushed the B halls earlier on. Mertz should not go around this corner. Although Diham may choose to do so himself. Could be set up by a flashbang from Aniz to get control of this position, and that seems to be the case. Flash is there, Mertz is blind, and he is gone just like that. 2 guns removed from Heroic, and only the pistols remain. This round looking to be as good as done.
And I mean, already for devils.one, you're looking at this, right? You're going to go 6-6 here. And you're already looking at this as a good enough T-side. You know, in theory, at this point, anything else is almost just a bonus round on top of what is kind of expected of you. Now, they would love to go above and beyond that and continue chaining these together over on the T side of things. They're being very methodical in this round. They don't want to risk giving any of these guns away. Freiburg will be happy if he can hold on to the M4. If they can get their hands on anything else here, that's not too bad for Heroic. Maus will uncover the terrible truth that lurks in T-Spawn. S-Tag offers himself up as well, and Freiburg had already headed away. Looking to hold on it to this M4. But this is all the makings of a great series, right? devils.one. We've got the big performance from Maus that we've seen a couple of times. We've got Diha showing up early. Manice has landed a few key shots with the AWP here and there. We've got the kind of 3-man fragging core that we would look to on the devils.one side of things stepping up in spades. And we need to see the response now from Heroic. You're going to be looking towards Stown as one of the players to try and step up. I think Blame F has had some big moments, but he is the man at the helm of this team. It's actually been him and Freiburg answering the call. We need to see a bit more from Mertz, S-Tag, and Stown.
Well, here's the time, Harry. The issue is no AWP for Mertz, and he's facing up against Maniz, going for the wall bang, but to no avail. devils.one. Gonna get dealt with this. Pop dog push once again for S-Tag, here with the SMG, but devils.one have been reading this aggression well. They know when Heroic are going for it in terms of this Ivy play, and they know that S-Tag has been doing this round after round as well. So look at this, Molotov to cut his exit off. They can just drop in on him with an HG grenade and a spray to follow. Taz does kill S-Tag. Very nice use of utility there. Just boxed into that aggressive position. Now Blame F is going to take his place. So the smoke behind him, he can fight in front. Rowland setting up a smoke towards A, but as you see that bomb going towards the box hall, Stown already falling back on B. This is going to spell disaster for Heroic.
Yeah, Stown standing alone. Relying on some of these rotations to come through. Really, a lot of this falling on the back of him, and whether or not Heroic even attempt this. They've already lost the B bomb site. It's overran. Freiburg shutting down Manise. Now Heroic definitely tempted, and so they should be. Mertz in with another. Holding close is Maus. But he's going to get dropped shortly after. D has gone, and this round has all fallen apart for devils.one. It was looking good. Taz left in the clutch, barreling through that smoke. No one able to keep an eye on him. He tries to dart back up through the ramp and be a bit cheeky in the smoke. Not going to prevail.
I like that call from Stau, the man on your screen as well. He doesn't try and fight that B execute at all. He rather just sets up for the retake. He spots Heaven, sees no one come out, goes, okay, right, the rest are going to be ramp then. And, you know, his options are either take a fight on ramp, probably get, what, max 1-for-1, maybe 2 kills if he's super lucky. But instead, he waits behind the coils, sets up a flashbang for his teammates rotating through con. They kill the player on back grey, and from then on, the retake falls into place. So very nice round from Heroic.
Yeah, other reason that's nice is because you set yourself up in that retake scenario, if no kills come through immediately, you can just back off and save with 4 players, right? So a nice little setup inside of the B halls to compensate for losing S-Tag so early in that round from the side of Heroic. And it yields some results. A tactical pause, I think, called on in for these two teams just to mull that one over. Try and figure out how they want to approach the closing couple of rounds of this half. And the pressure still really on the side of Heroic, right? 9-6, very much recoverable, but you are over on the CT side, and to make matters worse, that reset is looming over their heads into the last round of the half, so devils.one. Pressure somewhat alleviated. Mertz missing that shot. The nade might follow up, but only tags him for a bit. A faster play into the A-bomb site, but Freiburg blame F showing up in spades. 3 kills between these two, and they've been the 2 that we've been looking to for Heroic in this match thus far. Rallen and Manise left standing in the 2v5, and Rallen desperate to try and find something. The barrel of the gun betrays him. And Mertz even going to go as far as to shut down the Orpa over on the side of devils.one. So Heroic will be in with another.
And flawless as well. If there was ever a time they needed a clean round, Harry, it was to set them up for the last of the half, to try and find this 9-6 that would be a decent CT side. You know, obviously a pretty down the middle, pretty equal setup. But if Heroic lost that round, that 9-6 would not be coming through without a doubt. Likely be a 7-8 in favor of devils.one. Now the max they can get is 7, and they have got the buy for it, but so have Heroic. So everything in the hands of all 10 players here. Rallen getting more utility. I think he threw some flashes over A and went back to buy an HE. I like that last round. Why not? Make sure you're fully equipped, and the early flashbangs can actually force out utility from Heroic. If they think a fast A play is coming, they're going to be laying down the incendiaries, that of which they have, again, deep in the T-con. 2 left on them. They won't take control of it this time. Heroic, far more passive than how we have seen them in these last few rifle rounds. Rather waiting for devils.one to make the next play, and that they'll have to, setting smokes up outside of this A bomb site. 2 players above the pop dog. They can drop in and try and go for this A split. Pop now belongs to them, but these deep T-con smokes are going to be a real issue. S-Tag going to push in aggressively off the back of it as well. And now as devils.one, they've thrown their smokes. They want to go for the A split, but they haven't even got main. The flash is there. S-Tag caught with his pants down. Mertz does get the trade, and that will keep things in the 4-on-4 for now.
Yeah, these players slowly siphoning in towards A, but Freiburg tapping down at Diha. And there's Mertz in with another. He's been a real nuisance, and he's going to continue to be one. That will be Heroic securing the 9-6 half at the end of things. They put a stop to the streak that Heroic were able to string together. And we've started to see some of these key players stepping up. Freiburg having one hell of a performance. Maybe looking to try and get some revenge after devils.one took the series versus his old teammates just yesterday. Right now, staring down a 9-6 scoreline, heading into the second half. It still feels like it's anyone's game. Join us after the break to find out how exactly this first map of this best of 3 transpires. 9-6 at the end of the first half there in favour of the Danes, or the majority Danish squad. And for the side of devils.one, they're now moving into the CT side of their map pick. So pissed around here could very much just propel them back to a nice even footing, Hugo. And I'm curious, what's going to be the win conditions here for either one of these guys? Who are the players to keep an eye on?
Well, Harry, I think you've already highlighted that. I mean, we've seen the likes of Freiburg have a great start to this game. Maus, on the other side of things, is going to be hugely influential. But here's one of the issues, right? A lot of the rifle rounds, and even just rounds in general on that T side, came off the back of Maus running into bomb sites and just getting 3 headshots. Now you're on the CT side. Now you can't rely on that. We need a team effort here from the side of devils.one if they want to mount this comeback. But 6 rounds T side, pretty damn good start. That shot is unreal from Taz. Doesn't even get tagged. Thinks S-tag to 2 HP. A nade over the top side would get rid of him now. And I'd like to see Taz throw that in, although waiting for the push down ramp. There is the nade, and they try and avoid it, but scraping at their kneecaps is that damage. Taz actually needs to steal that kill away. S-tag watching the pop dog flank, but Blame and Freiburg have found entries to this bomb site. This bomb can go right down here for Heroic, and they're looking to chase kills away. Could be to their own detriment. Diha finding an equalizing kill, and we're back into a 3-on-3. Make that a 3-on-2.
Yeah, Blame F, a lot of this going to fall onto his shoulders now, and Maus wrapping around, deletes him. It's S-tag, 2 HP, and a dream. And Maus is the dream catcher. He shuts that round down, secures the pistol round for devils.one, and that will be them now looking to springboard themselves into an even scoreline. Over in the Heroic camp, I'm curious, they've shown a lot of force. Everyone in Group B has. I hope we see a force buy here from the Heroic squad. You can purchase up a couple of hero rifles, throw them around. Alternatively, right, you've got the bomb plant. There's an AWP buy in the future potentially, but no, it will be the force buy, Hugo. These weapons dropped over to Freiburg and Blame F. Mert still keeping... oh, no, okay, he's bought. Never mind. The old faker route.
This is a great round to buy, though. You still have this lead. You're fine with giving 9-9 away if you don't pick it up. And as said, the consistency that Heroic have won these force buys is pretty impressive. Issue is, these rifles are going to be a task to get past. 3 of them on devils.one. Only 2 AKs here for Heroic. Early rotation down towards B for Diha, unless he's wrapping Ivy here. That actually is the case. They've left it open. Rallen can't really keep an eye on it. He's got an MP9. Too far away to stop that one. Scout getting tagged. And Heroic, no opening pick going their way just yet. devils.one going to start to close the distance, and this MP9 gets even more dangerous the closer it is. So S-tag has to be careful here. Blame F. He's 14-6. He's had a real game ahead of him, and this would be a great time to show us what he's got with this AK as Rallen's taken down S-tag. Blame has him caught. He cannot retreat. He has to fight to his death here, but Rallen is more than happy to do that. More damage, drops the bomb, will eventually be traded, but that is worthwhile. Blame F going to try and replicate some success here on this A-bomb site as he comes through the pop dog, catching the rotation of Maus. Big kill to find, and he doubles it as well. Teammate falling by his side. 30 seconds left up for Blame to try and open up this site even further. And another kill from the captain. Finds Diha in the spawn, leaving Taz on the long rotate round.
Oh, shotgun it. Oh, what? What even is that, Blame? Did he even know it? Like, Freiburg was like just frozen, like mid-set, like I don't even know. What? I'm speechless.
Yeah, what a round. Man, this guy, considering this guy joined, this is, as far as I'm aware, first like proper professional LAN team. A year ago, no one knows who this guy is. Now, he's just one-tapping Taz and the likes. What a performance out of Blame F right now. 18-6. He's got the same amount of kills as Freiburg, but half the deaths.
His face in his picture is like me reacting to that play. I mean, you just...
wide-eyed.
Yeah. Now, they do lose Stout early on in this round. Manise able to find him. It is the force buy in return from devils.one. They're not looking to replicate the same results Heroic had. They're already backing off, perhaps looking to go for the save here, and that does look to be the call. We needed people to reliably step up for Heroic, and Blame F, the IGL, now turned star in this map, might be the man to do it.
I mean, you say just in this map, but the thing is, Blame,
actually,
leading the team,
yeah.
he's had just fantastic games throughout. You know, nothing like this, but he's never, you know, I've not seen this player ever, you know, be at the bottom of the board and like, oh yeah, he's the IGL, you know, he can't frag, it's fine, he's cooling. No, he frags and he cools, Harry. And he's going to frag and cool and lead Heroic to a victory here if things keep up. It's 11-7. T-side victory there from the Danes. They find that 4-spy win. And the money gone here from devils.one. They've got to take a bit of an eco. Can buy up somewhat around these save guns, but with 4 AKs in the hands of Heroic, this is surely a formality. I would not expect this 4-spy to win for devils.one. They are lacking utility across the board. That nade from Freiburg could be spicy, and it is. Tags down Maniz and Dia. Heroic setting up for the Ivy play as well. There's no one here to watch this. Now, on an eco round, you are going to take gambles, take stacks, and that's what devils.one have done. The issue is it's down towards the B bomb site with 4. Only a solo man, push T-Con. And that's minimal information that they're just trying to play off the back of going, okay, we have T-Con, so it's probably B. Not always, though. And actually, Heroic, if they walked down Ivy there, they could have won the round off the back of it, but now deciding to double back is Blame F, pick up that bomb, smoke Molly on Ivy to try and force peaks, and this should allow Heroic to get aggressive and push down this portion of the map. Instead, they opt to go back round, Harry, and little do they know it, they're about to set up into this stack. Diha keeping an eye on the site take from Ivy, but they could even wrap the CT spawn here. That's what Stown might even do, just playing this late luck. The issue is if Stown clears out A before his teammates push that bomb into the B site, it's just going to drop down the pop dog, and Heroic won't walk into the stack.
Yeah, now maybe on the back of Stown just getting so deep, they decide maybe we'll hold off on this B play. And yeah, he's cooled. Yeah, guys, A is looking pretty clear. 20 seconds on the clock as they go for this rotation. The wraparound from Maniz just going to miss the timing to catch anybody here. He's going to try and barrel in now, but Freiburg, quick around the corner, deletes the first man into the bomb site. Cows will answer back with 1, but it's traded almost immediately, and 1 by 1 they fall. It's Rarlan. Oh, nice shot to S-Tag, but surely he can't get anything else. These 3 players are low, so they're only 1 shots to the scout. You get the extra... I can't think of what the word is. Movement speed from it, I guess. I don't know. What would be the word for that? I always said mobility. That's the word I was looking for.
I was trying to use that earlier, Harry, and I couldn't come up with it. That's not
I almost said movement juice, and that's
juice.
Definitely not right.
Moose, otherwise it's known as. They are fast. Moose. What's the plural of moose?
Meese.
Mice.
And they are like a real alpha animal.
Yeah.
I actually did a lot of reading up on moose.
Yeah.
Mooses.
Mice.
I'm very knowledgeable on them. I'll bring that up throughout the series, I guess. We could just pepper in a couple of moose facts. Tell you what, though.
Oh.
It's Orgs across the board for devils.one, and this is going to help them out of range. It does mean they have to forego a lot of utility in this round, though. Already it's all but gone. 2 smokes split between Maniz and Maus is all they've got. S-Tag flashed in by Stown, helped out massively. Secures this man advantage for Heroic very early on here, and now all that utility is gone for devils.one. They only had, I think it was, I want to say 2 flashbangs and 2 or 3 smokes into this round to begin with.
Just
so that's all but
with
gone.
A number, Harry, at that point.
Yeah. You can see one of them dropped on the body of Maus. Maniz is quick to grab it, because at this point, any little nugget of utility you can hold on to is so valuable.
You know Diha wants to push that ladder so bad. The second he gets a reason to do so, he will, but jump spot from Blame. Diha's now got a bail. This bomb's still in spawn as well. They will be going for this A play, so Heroic actually need the pop dog under their control. They're going to use utility to get it. Double drop. Blame. Bit baity, but luckily enough, not a worry. And I'm sure not intentional. The issue is D has now moved. He's back up in the T-com. Going to make some noise as he backs out. They'll hear the footsteps. He fires off some warning shots. The bomb is getting out of this one. 20 seconds. It's got to go fast. It's got to go now because right now Heroic have not got the kills to find. Rallen gets another back on that A bomb site. Blame will bail out of this one. Maniz already down close on the ramp. He's not going to take the fight. He just wants to deny the plant, and that he shall. 5 seconds. This round is done. And devils.one, they will pick it up with those Augs. 4 players surviving, a free AWP taken, and no utility needed, Harry, when you're winning all the gunfights.
Yeah, I felt like that was all the pieces of the puzzle for Heroic to find around there, right? And devils.one really upsetting the grain of things and actually being able to secure that, keeping it so clean. In spite of going a man down, in spite of having nothing to fall back on in terms of their utility. And now that's not an issue. Now you've got everything you could possibly need. The world is their oyster. And Heroic, while they do have a buy, they've had to scrape the bottom of the barrel a little bit more. Mertz at least does have his AWP. That molly going to get extinguished, and he'll push past it with the AWP. Homing his sights in for this peak. There it is, Rallen arriving, and actually he didn't quite spot Diha there, or maybe he did, flicking back now, but that smoke falling locks Mertz out of this position for the time being.
Yeah, get out of that one. Mertz with some warning shots, but there's no one here to fight them back. Diha just watches Olof instead. Heroic seemingly desperate here. Their Ivy plan has been foiled. They need something new. Bomb beginning to rotate round. They'll give up Ivy, set up potentially towards his B site. Time still to do it. Estag wants to probe A, but needs to be careful. Flash is there. Did he spot the player on the boost? Not sure. Rallen's low. Heroic getting slight info on A, but nothing too interesting. 33 seconds now as they set up for the B play. devils.one with the advantage in players, so they can double stack this B site. Maniz is playing con with the AWP, and we have Taz on the site to watch this ramp playing. Maniz, he's going to be flashed off, instantly killed. Nice shot from Mertz. Now Taz, what can he do? Nothing. S-Tag's removed him straight away. 15 seconds, but that's enough time for a bomb plant. Heroic will get it down, and that's the round 1. Great reaction, and a fantastic B push to pick up 13.
Yeah, but I like the call from devils.one. Being able to get away with 3 players staying alive does set them up nicely into the next round. You're not going to have this game all collapse in on the back of the money breaking down. And so now a 13th round for Heroic, looking good here on their opponent's map pick. Here's the Danish squad.
S-Tag having a better day as well. He's had a couple of rough games.
Well, you say that, right? It's more like he's had great maps, and then the second you really need him to show up, that's when he's kind of fallen off, right? Even if you think back to just yesterday, or even the game versus NIP that we saw them play, right? It was the same story there once again, where he had this series of strong performances, and then when it approached crunch time, maybe the pressure got to him just a little bit, and he did fall off fairly drastically. Tactical pause called on in for devils.one. They know that as this game is getting down to the wire, they're running out of opportunities to get back into this one.
Well, let's see if devils.one can shut this down on their CT side. It has been a very nice T-half from Heroic. 3 more left, separate them from a victory on devils.one map pick. Freiberg's out Olof already. They seem aware of the possibility due to this sandwich smoke. In fact, it's not just one smoke, there's a wall of them. Heroic have denied a lot of information in the way of devils.one. But not done too much with it yet. Now the Ivy push will be coming through. 2 players here. That bomb still far back in the box halls. Freiberg looking for the opening kill, can't quite find it, gets tagged, spots 2. Plenty of info for Freiberg, and he's found the opening kill as well to rally off Rallen. back in the spawn, spraying through the smoke, damage from him, and he even finds both kills. Maniz kills Mertz in the meantime, and this round is falling apart from Heroic.
Yeah, Blame F can't get away with this either. He's been tagged down at 2 HP. Freiburg trying to do what he can, will get silenced. And it's Blame.
Surely not, Harry.
Well, 2 points of health. He's going to look to try and find some respite inside of the B bomb site. The issue he will have is 2 players waiting on the other side. Really do look to shut this one down. There shouldn't be a way back into this for Blame F, especially not now that he's been spotted. Pulls the rotation in. Taz holding close to the ramp will solidify this one. Blame not ready for the close man, and that will be devils.one. Securing a 9th, keeping the dream alive. You know, a loss in that round there, your money would have been ran out or run into the ground rather on the side of the poles. And suddenly, you know, you're staring down a 9-14 scoreline, no cash, and then you're faced with that awkward decision, you know, do we eco, do we force? Doesn't really matter, you just pick your poison. Luckily enough, they've dodged it for the time being, securing a 9th round. The first step, I was going to say of many, but not really of many, but just of some, I guess.
The question is,
get back into this game.
Have they dodged it, Harry, or have they delayed it? Because Heroic still have that chance to buy up. Try and break the cash right back for devils.one. Easier said than done, but they've come this far, 13-9. Still ball in Heroic's court here, not getting sweaty just yet. Actually, this buy's weaker than I anticipated. Scout on Mertz, Deagle on Freiburg. They would have loved that bomb plant the previous round, but not coming through. Boost up for this Scout to try and spot an early player. Those nades, minimal damage. Ooh, look at this timing, though. Miles gets inside of the Pop Dog. They know, but they don't have a Molotov for this. They're just waiting for him to reposition. They are going to sit here until he moves.
All right, get the clocks out, start the timer. When's his peak going to come through? Oh, no!
Why? Why
Timing.
look away?
They get the trade at the very least, and now there's an AK for Freiburg to pick up over in main. Ooh.
Dear, oh dear. That's why I love this game, Harry.
Yeah, moments like that.
Yeah, that and many
Not
others.
the big clutches.
No, just that.
It's the little memes that make all the difference. Still, 4-on-4, not impossible for Heroic. They will turn their sights elsewhere, starting now to consider the possibility maybe of this B play, keeping an eye for the Ivy aggression. devils.one not really showing to be a team that are too much of a fan of going for these aggressive stances on either side of the plate, so they will just be holding back for the time being. And Heroic settling into this A-side play. They've got a smoke to facilitate this cross out from Pop Dog, get Freiburg and Blame F into the bomb site. Diha will be here to try and respond, but it's instantly traded by Freiburg. 3v3, these rotations coming round now. The bomb about to go down inside of the bomb site, but Taz is already here, already in a position to try and deny this bomb plant is Taz. Freiburg dropped, 10 seconds. The kills have to come through now for Heroic. This bomb surely cannot go down. Stown trying to save the day, and Blame F, he's got to kill them both. 1 second, there's no time. And if Rallen is able to find him afterwards, now this is devils.one well and truly back into this map. The money is broken on the side of Heroic, and at this point, you maybe even consider going for the Force because Blame F is broke.
Yeah, that is an awkward round to lose there. Freiburg, you know, faking the bomb, fair enough. You know the players are close. You heard Taz come through the connector, but then he tries to plant open for Conside. Big mistake. Got caught by Maniz, and now devils.one back in control. We talk about how they needed to all step up into the second half, Harry. Well, Team Ace in that previous rifle round has led them to do so, not necessarily relying on one man's power. Heroic using this almost as a tactical pause, chilling around the sport. They've got Glocks and P250s, so can't really ask for too much in this round anyway. Trying to just discuss and come up with a game plan for the follow-up rifle rounds that will be coming sooner rather than later. Everyone's going to have money to buy up at least. We won't have that AWP in the follow-up. Blame's going to be on 3k, but the other four should have AKs with decent utility. A bomb plant would be lovely here, but there's absolutely no way that devils.one will be giving that to Heroic unless something crazy goes down. We have a double B setup, so devils.one at least playing within the site here. Of course, it is just an eco round, so Heroic will try their hand at B. It's the best option for what they have, and they have very little. Maniz posted with the AUG, although timing could elude him. He flows a flashbang now, backing up towards the back of Oil. Will spray down one. How much more? They're going to try and overwhelm him. Bomb is dropped, and Stown, he gets one, but it's too little, too late. Round for devils.one, as expected there, with only a single casualty.
Yeah, you see the implications of BlameF having to just go for that UMP in this round. He died, obviously, after time in the round before last. So his money not looking too great. Everyone else's is fine. You don't have the AWP on the side of Heroic. But it hasn't been much of a mainstay in a lot of the success that they've found, at least in this map. Likewise, no AWP over in the hands of Maniz, so you won't have to worry about that head-to-head just yet. Diha setting himself up over in Pop Dog. Do be sure to bear in mind that Taz still waiting at this B-bomb site. Could even look to push and prod, maybe get some information up on the rafters. Heroic backing away. Taking this round very slowly, and you understand why. You know, you've done well to secure this 13-11 scoreline, but devils.one are hot on your heels, right? They've been right behind you every step of the way, and now standing just 2 rounds behind that of Heroic. The potential equalizer out if they take this round. So this is either where we see Heroic look to try and put a stop to this comeback in its tracks, or the Devils grinding their way back in to this first map.
Yeah, this close smoke actually just denies info for devils.one. It doesn't get Heroic any further than the end of the hallway, but that means the bomb doesn't get spotted and we don't see devils.one fully rotate like they would. 30 seconds left. They have to go Ivy here. They have to push this, but utility is such a problem. Flash through for Mertz does blind the man on the other side, but Rallen won't shoot. He's covered by the smoke. Spam through it. There's one from Maniz. Mertz does get the trade, but there's only 16 seconds left, and time may be the problem again for Heroic. Blame has got to stay alive. If he dies, this round is done, and there it is. 9 seconds, and Dieter catches Freiberg falling. This is happening, Harry. devils.one are making this happen. 13-12. Money once again removed from Heroic. This T-side game plan was so good early on to get them to the 13-9 lead that they once sat in, but now 3 rounds in a row for devils.one. And surely a 4th here as Heroic run dry of funds.
Yeah, so with this early utility usage, you may be looking for something a little bit faster. You've got a smoke on at Stown still. Could look to throw this in towards CT's side. Instead, they just run into Rallen dry, and they'll get punished for it, as they should. Rallen in with 3, and now just S-Tag remaining. He'll get finished off as well, and devils.one tying this up 13-13. That comfortable bank of rounds that you were sitting on if you are Heroic has now been eroded, and you sit at this scary point in this series where devils.one, not only have they caught up, but they look like the favorites to take this map now. Yeah. The economy's there, they're finding their footing, we're seeing these great performances across the board. That round being a flawless one as well from Devils is just going to pad these bank accounts out even more. At least you do have the AWP in Mertz's hand in this round. If you are Heroic, you can maybe look to him to try and open things up. Going to try and establish this run boost to get him across to the other side. Not perfect. Try again. There you go. Gets across the second time around. But Rowland's not giving anything up.
Yeah, they will just opt to smoke him off here. Mertz trying to find the lineup. He maybe not sure, but there it is. Simple as anything. Rallen, Molly down. Heroic won't be committing with this. They're just throwing the same smoke that they threw when they had the bomb here. Maybe just trying to lull devils.one into an idea that this could be an A play. Freiburg's been holding on to the B site majority of the round. Rallen gets tagged through the smoke, so he's got to give that one up. Stown, yeah, you can see, faking that bomb drop, but Rallen will not hear it. He's too far away. This bomb fully rotating here for Heroic. Going down towards the B side of things, Rallen, he's going to have a very fast rotation to join them on that bomb site, considering he's given up Ivy. The issue is Stown is still here, and he's pushing the posterior, pushing the back line. Rallen will win that duel despite being already tagged up. 10 HP, the difference left on him, and now they know they've killed the Lurk player. Heroic have to dive into this B bomb site. Again, 20 seconds left. This is all too late. S-Tag's found himself one, but do they get rid of Maniz? That's going to be the killing blow here that could stop the bomb plant. Freiburg not ready for it. Smoke in hand. Maniz has dropped another, and Mertz will trade it. Bomb plant just allowed. Huge kill from Mertz on the AWP, and it keeps it in the 3-on-3 as devils.one close the gap.
Oh. blamF might have just saved the day here. Diha from the ramp, timing this push in with Mouse, but the trade there from S-Tag.
Oh, no.
Bomb not planted for them. Diha going to tap it, spots the first man. At least now for Heroic, they've been able to get blamF nearby, and he will drop Diha, so they salvage that. Had he just stuck the bomb, obviously didn't have the information that both of those players had gone aggressive, but had he stuck the bomb there, there's a good chance he gets away with it.
Oh no, he definitely wins that round. There's no way they can stop him. They were too far. It would have, would have been a one round from devils.one, and that would have been a huge way to lose. You can see he's still looking stressed, are Heroic, and I don't blame them. That's their first rifle round in quite a while, Harry. And now, of course, they face still plenty more buy rounds from the likes of devils.one, who have been acquiring a lot of cash here on this CT side. They picked up 5 rounds prior to that one win from Heroic. Still have players sitting around the 10k mark even prior to the buy. So this is Heroic having to win another 2 rifle rounds here and now.
Yeah, and I just still want to see a bit more from Mertz, the AWPer on the side of Heroic. Right now he's got Maniz to go head-to-head with, and he doesn't have the AWP in this round. So, you know, did they have it? You could have looked to maybe just throw in Mertz aggressively out from Olaf, something like that. Tried to have him take this fight initially.
And the big issue with this, Harry, is devils.one have gone from running no AWPs on the CT side to a double AWP at 14-13 when Mertz doesn't have one. I mean, this is the worst time for Heroic to be faced with this kind of play, and they have no idea. They've not been facing these AWPs. They think they're in the clear, rather. With devils.one throwing a curveball.
Yeah, not just one, but 2 AWPs. Diha and Maniz donning them. We've seen Diha is so often the man to pick it up alongside Maniz within this squad. However, perfect remedy to the double AWP is getting that bomb down. And with Heroic looking like they're throwing in this B plate, this is likely not the commitment, right? You've still got S-Tag waiting over in Pop. You've still got Stown waiting outside of A, and it will be the double fake. They throw in all this utility toward B. Now you've got S-Tag and Stown to draw the attention back to A, and devils.one might have taken the bait. Maniz has just rotated off. Everyone's left B. They find S-Tag, but now the ruse becomes all too clear. Maus and Taz able to mop up 2, but it's Freiburg in with the trade. The bomb goes down. Man advantage in favor of the Devils squad, and Stown's going to keep on fighting. He might come to regret that, but Freiburg trying to save the day. Not quite. It's blamF 1v3, now turned 1v2. Doesn't have the whereabouts as to where Rallen resides, but he knows that Maniz was just spotted at the connector. They chain up, and they deal with the IGL of Heroic. A 14th round for Devils. Heroic maybe a bit overzealous in some of those peaks to have given up such a big advantage. And they're going to be kicking themselves now. They've afforded a 14th away of devils.one. This is down to the wire, and overtime still very much on the cards in this first map.
Oh yeah, it's looking likely. I think it more likely the devils.one win it, considering the money system is definitely favouring them right now, but only getting away with 2 guns. I wonder if they save that second AWP. They certainly had one of them at least. And yeah, this is really pressure's on right now. Mertz, who's not had the best of games, but not really had the AWP to play with a lot of these rounds, has definitely held him back. 14-14 here. This is the map pick of devils.one. After all, do remember that. So the fact that Heroic are even rivaling up to 14 is impressive, but can they go over the final mark, Harry? Full buy round here, full AKs. And the double AWP is in play here for devils.one on that CT side. Heroic already looking like they want to go for a fast A play.
Yeah, you don't have the utility to throw a sort of fake in like they did in that previous round again. It does just have to be the commitment to wherever you put this utility. If you are Heroic, it will be the A side that they look to try and find their map point round, but Rarlan shutting down too, looking to take devils.one across the finish line here, or at least get them to it. Helped out by Mertz and Freiburg making quick work of these rotating players, but Rarlan in with the hat trick, carries Devils through to map point here on their map pick. They've ground their way, grinded back into this map, and now find themselves on the finish line. Just one round between them and taking their map pick. The issue is, Heroic, likewise, one round away from locking in an overtime. And with the force buy coming in here from the Danish squad, maybe we do just see a Hail Mary play in towards one of these bomb sites.
The difference is, Harry, they both got to the finish line, but devils.one brought the scissors to cut the rope. Heroic, they've not even got teeth, mate. They're gummed. 2 SMGs, 3 AKs, limited utility. This is not the buy you want to pull into round 30, especially not when you're on what could be the defeating end.
I am questioning how you think races end if you have to scissor your way through a rope.
Or
what
bite.
have you been doing? Yeah, you've been playing like some weird saw-like race. Well, it's the race against time now for Heroic. They're fast running out of it in this map.
No.
Bomb dropped. It's the first man in and into the moors of Manice. Blame gets one. He's quickly dealt with, and Stown dropped. Blame with 1 point of health. It's not happening. And devils.one, they'll take this first map 16-14. It's down to the wire, but Train goes their way.